Hello there. Brussels has signalled that it is willing to listen to the case for a Scotland-only Brexit delay. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. While the UK government has made its intention of not extending the Brexit implementation period 1 second beyond 11 PM on the 31st of December 2020, the First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, is coming under pressure to go for a Scotland-only extension. This has led the EU chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier, or more accurately his spokesman, to step in and say that the EU Commission was willing to listen to the arguments for doing so. The driver behind this Scotland-only extension proposal is former First Minister Henry McLeish, who the National says has agreed with the assessment that a no-deal Brexit would hamper the country's recovery from the pandemic and that such a move would be highly damaging. A Scottish-wide extension move would allow the country to remain in the single market and customs union once the current transition period ends on December the 31st this year, and if the rest of the UK moves to trade on WTO rules. And it says that McLeish has urged Sturgeon to make the request if the Prime Minister Boris Johnson does not. So I suppose he hopes that a temporary stay would inexorably lead to a permanent state of affairs, with the added bonus of enforced independence. Well, dependence on the EU, whichever way you look at it. Now, I do have to say this sounds seriously pie in the sky to me. I'm hoping Barnier's spokesperson was just being polite to pass the time of day. Can you seriously imagine Sturgeon being successful? But if it did happen, the SNP would definitely get their dream of a border between them and the rest of the UK. Because doing something idiotic like this would leave Scotland in the EU customs union and single market, as well as the freedom of movement area. This heaps the hurt on Scotland, as instantly the tariffs that apply to EU goods entering the UK would also apply to Scottish goods exported from Scotland to the UK. The EU would want a proper border between Scotland and the rest of the UK to protect the single market, etc. Scottish businesses that import from the rest of the UK into Scotland would also have to pay the common external tariff for those imports. There would be no special rules for Scotland. Why would there need to be? There is no Scottish equivalent of the Northern Ireland Belfast Agreement. Then there's the potential banking barrier that would automatically arise between Scotland and the City of London in a no-deal scenario. That could make it impossible for them to fund their businesses. And how could they raise money through sovereign debt if they need money for investment or to keep fighting the invisible enemy? And while the rest of the UK forged ahead with post-Covid rebuilding, Scotland would be unable to function without EU say-so. Scotland would also have freedom of movement with the EU, so the Calais camps could well redeploy to Scotland, forcing the UK to consider placing a hard border there. And the Scottish fishermen would get really peeved as soon as they realise that the EU trawlers are massing in their waters. That is, if those waters could be hived off the UK in that manner. It seems to me that anyone supporting this thinks they'd get the best of both worlds, but neither the EU nor the UK could ever agree to it. The EU will continue to deal with the UK government on the subject of Brexit, as that is really the only constitutional route open to them. So this is not something I'm going to be taking seriously. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. So what do you think about this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.